Now we will discuss what is the qualification for the appointment of an internal auditor. मतलब किन को आप internal auditor के तौर पर appoint कर सकते हो, right? Who can perform an internal audit? As per the provisions of Section 138 of the Companies Act 2013, companies are required to appoint an internal auditor, which may be either an individual or a partnership firm or an LLP, body corporate, who needs to be a professional. The said person can be a chartered accountant or a cost accountant or a company secretary or such other professional as decided by the board, right? Now, the term professional has a very wide meaning. So, the person who is appointed as an internal auditor can be a company secretary or a lawyer also. Initially, earlier till few years ago, it was that internal auditor generally used to be a चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट ओनली, लेकिन अभी वो चीज़ बदल चुकी है, राइट? सो to be appointed as internal auditors and ensure timely compliance of a company, the internal auditor may or may not be an employee of the company. The board may appoint any practicing chartered accountant or a cost accountant, whether in practice or not, or any other person whom it deems to be fit to be appointed as an internal auditor. तो ये अपॉइंट करते समय कंपनी क्या क्या फैक्टर्स को ध्यान में रखेंगे. सो दे विल टेक इनटू कंसिडरेशन द नेचर and volume of the business of the company, qualifications of the person or the firm, experience that the person or the firm has, the capability of the person or the firm who is to be appointed as the internal auditor. Now, there are few notes that are given. Now, as a rule, understand this, in the textbook or the module of the ICSI, whenever you have note, you should be considering it as important notes. So there are three things which are very important in case of an internal auditor. First is, an internal auditor cannot be appointed by the board by passing of resolution by circulation. Resolution by circulation का meaning क्या है? Board, without holding a formal board meeting, when they pass a resolution by circulation, as in wherein the agenda and the necessary material is circulated among the board of directors and a decision is taken, that is called taking or passing a resolution by circulation. Internal auditor, the appointment of internal auditor is a very important task allotted to the board of directors, और ये वो resolution by circulation से नहीं कर सकते. इसका मतलब ये है कि इंटरनल ऑडिटर को अपॉइंट करने के लिए आपको फॉर्मल बोर्ड मीटिंग लेना बहुत ज़रूरी है, रादर ज़रूरी ही है. You cannot appoint an internal auditor in any other manner. The person or the firm has to be appointed in a formal meeting of the board of directors. Second is, statutory auditor cannot be appointed as an internal auditor of the board. ये दो चीज़ें अलग है. So a person who is appointed as a statutory auditor cannot act as an internal auditor at the same time, right? The third is, a cost auditor of a company shall not be an internal auditor of the company for the period for which he is conducting the cost audit. So again, these two roles have to be different. So a cost auditor, when he is appointed as a cost auditor of a company, cannot act as an internal auditor at the same time. These three are important points, so please remember them. Now we know that who can be appointed as an internal auditor. Now we will see what is the procedure that the company has to follow while appointing an internal auditor, right? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, तो जिनको आप इंटरनल ऑडिटर के तौर पर अपॉइंट करना चाहते हैं उनका रिटन कंसेंट लगता है, right? So first you obtain a written consent from the concerned or proposed internal auditor. Second is, you have to issue a 7 days notice calling a board meeting for appointment of internal auditors. 7 दिन का नोटिस, मिनिमम 7 दिन का नोटिस देना पड़ेगा. Then you actually hold the board meeting, right? Inform the auditor about his or her appointment as an internal auditor of the company. Filing of Form MGT 14 for the appointment of internal auditor within 30 days of the passing of the board resolution. So board resolution के पास होने के 30 दिन के अंदर आपको MGT 14 फाइल करना पड़ेगा. Then you have to send an intimation to the internal auditor regarding his appointment. जिनको आपने अपॉइंट करने का प्रपोज किया था, जिनका आपके पास रिटन कंसेंट है और उनका अपॉइंटमेंट हो चुका है, उनको भी आपको एक रिटन इंटीमेशन देना पड़ेगा. So this is the procedure to be followed to appoint an internal auditor. Now, the audit committee of the company or the board, so either the audit committee or the board of directors shall, in consultation with the internal auditor, formulate the scope, functioning, periodicity and methodology for conducting the internal audit. अभी आपने कंसेंट मांग लिया, आपने उनको अपॉइंट भी कर लिया, आपने उनको इंटीमेट भी किया कि आपका अपॉइंटमेंट हो चुका है. आफ्टर द अपॉइंटमेंट इज डन इन दिस मैनर, the audit, either the audit committee if there is one in the company or the board of directors will, in consultation with the internal auditor, then formulate the scope. जो scope decide होता है, जो functioning decide होता है, that is in manner in which the audit will be conducted, plus the periodicity, the methodology for conducting the internal audit, ये सारी चीज़ें जो है वो अपॉइंटमेंट के बाद ऑडिट कमेटी या फिर बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स और इंटरनल ऑडिटर एक साथ डिसाइड करते हैं.